Good day, greeting students. Today we are again meeting in class 11 business studies. So we are in the first chapter, nature and purpose of business. Already we have discussed various points about business and its nature, why is it important and all those things. In the last session we discussed about business risks. So what is business risk? Business risk refers to some uncertainties. It may result in inadequate profits or entire loss. And there are two kinds of business risk. One is pure and another one is speculative. What do we mean by speculative risk? Speculative risk means we can guess that it might happen and it leads to profit or gain. There is a chance of profit as well as gain. In pure risk, there is no chance of profit. It has only two options, loss or no loss. Okay, and what is the example for pure risk? Theft, robbery, strike, all these are examples for pure risk. In this session we are going to go detailedly into the topic of business risk. So we are going to talk about the nature of business risk. How can you identify business risk? What are the characteristics of business risk is what we are going to study now. So we are going to start with the nature of business risks. Okay? Pronunciation is risks. Okay? Risk, plural is risks. So nature of business risk. In this topic we are going to discuss about the characteristics, some peculiar is what? Very different characteristics of business risk. First point is business risks or any risks arise due to uncertainties. Okay? Business risk or any risk arise due to uncertainties. What is meant by uncertainties? We don't know what is going to happen. Uncertainties, it is not for sure. We don't know what is going to happen is uncertainty. When do you take risk or when? What is called as risk actually? It is a result of some uncertainty. You don't know whether you will be able to sell your product for a profit. So that is an uncertainty. நாளைக்கு என்ன நடக்கும்னு நம்மளால கெஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. அதான் நம்ம என்னன்னு சொல்றோம்? Uncertainty னு சொல்றோம். So what is business risk basically about? It is the result of uncertainty. எப்போ நமக்கு business risk இருக்குன்னு நமக்கு தெரியும் when we know that there is an uncertainty. For example, we are shipping some goods. Okay? We are shipping some goods from India to another country. And there is a possibility that அங்க போய் சேருமான்னு நமக்கு தெரியாது. We are not sure whether the consignment, whether the goods will reach the other shore safely. There are possibilities of storm, hurricane or pirates. Right? Pirates means who are pirates? People, the robbers of sea, who are in sea. We have seen Pirates of Caribbean, right? So pirates, the risk of pirates are there. We may have to face tsunami or something like that. The ship may be lost. So that is an uncertainty. So business risk. When does business risk arise? It arises due to uncertainty. It arises mainly because of uncertainties when we are not sure of what is going to happen. Not only business risk, any risk arises due to uncertainty. The risk of traveling by a bike. I'm learning how to ride a bike. Okay? I'm not sure how to ride a bike. Whether I should use a first gear or second gear, what position I have to apply the neutral form. I don't know about it. I'm uncertain. And you are not sure about the road conditions. You are not sure like whether how people will come. So that is an uncertainty. And now the entire world is in uncertain position because we don't know how this COVID will attack us. Whether what are the possibilities of it attacking, what are the symptoms, everything is changing. So it is even an uncertainty. That's why it is also a risk. We are all in a risky position as of now. So business risk arises due to uncertainties. The second point is risks are an essential part of business. Okay? We have already discussed it in the characteristics of business even that risk is an essential part of business. Can we avoid that? Can we avoid risk entirely? It is not at all possible. If you are not ready to take risk, you will not be able to gain something. So it is essential to undergo some of the other risk. Right? So risk becomes an essential part of business. I have to take a risk. I don't know whether people will buy this product. Okay, I have done research. I have realized that there is a demand for this product. But whether people will buy my brand of the product? Masks are available. Masks are of great demand. Sanitizers are of great demand. So I also start a company for sanitizer. But whether people will like my brand, because there are already many leading brands in sanitizers. So when I bring a new hand sanitizer, whether there will be demand, whether people will buy it, there is a risk. But what can I do? I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to, undergo a loss. So I'll sit simply means there is no business there. If you have to do a business, then you should be ready to undergo a risk. So what happens? Risk becomes inevitable. It cannot be removed from the process of business. Risk becomes very important. It is an essential part of business. If you have to do business, you should be ready for bearing or taking risks. The next point is degree of risk. Degree of risk is to which certain limit. There is a limit, right? So to which limit I have to take the risk. Is it a heavy risk or it is a light risk? The risk of loss is heavy. How much loss will I face? Okay, all these are called as degree of risk. And what does it depend on? Degree of risk depends on the nature and size of business. So what does it depend on? Degree of risk depends on the nature and size of business. Now by nature, what do I mean? Nature of business means what? Nature of business means the kind of product that you sell. Okay, what is the type of product and services that you sell, that you produce? Products. Okay, that you produce or that you sell. What kind of industry it is? Okay, nature of business means whether it is a primary industry or whether it is related to tertiary industry, that should be there, right? So the risk differs. The degree of risk differs based on the nature of business. Then comes size of business. So we have different sizes of business, like small scale is there and large scale businesses are here. So based on the size of business also the degree of risk differs. So if I am having a small scale industry, then my risk level will be little. I can bear it. The risk level will be little less. But when I have a large scale industry, my risk level will be high. So I have a small scale industry and I supply. How do I supply my products? By having it in a vehicle or a bicycle. I go from shop to shop to hand over products to sell. So what happens? The risk factor becomes less. What is the risk there? You may fall down from your cycle or the goods may be damaged. That's the risk factor. And your consignment is of 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. But when you take a large scale industry, I have to depend on airways, I have to depend on roadways for transportation. Okay, so the risk factor is also high, the loss might also be high. So the degree of risk depends mainly on the size and nature of business. Okay, and next point is profit is the reward for taking risk. So what is a reward? This we have already discussed in organizational objectives also. Profit is the reward for risk taking. As a businessman, you take risk. What do you get for it? You should get something. When we discussed about business, profession and employment, profession, they get a professional fee. And what what do the employees get? They get something called salary. They get reward. What is the reward a businessman gets? The reward a businessman gets for risk taking is profit. When do you get profit? Only when you take risk. As I said earlier, because I have risk in the industry, I don't want to invest any money. Means you cannot take out any profit also. You cannot do business and you cannot get any profit. So profit is the reward for taking risk. So what is the nature of business risk? That is, what are the peculiar characteristics of business risk that we have discussed? That it is business risk arise due to uncertainty. Why does it arise? Why do we have business risk or any other risk? Because uncertainty. Change alone is permanent. This I have been repeating a lot of times. Change alone is permanent. We don't know what will happen the next moment. So business risk play an essential part. It relates with the next point that it is an essential part of the business. You cannot do without risk. If you remove risk, you cannot do the business also. Next comes degree of risk. On what basis can I determine the degree of risk that I am going to take? Based on the size and nature of my business, I will be able to fix the degree of risk. Higher the business size, then larger will be the risk. Okay? And based on the nature. For example, if I am going to take costly products, if I am going to sell costly products, or for example, take food items. Now, food items are perishable. That is, they have to be consumed within certain particular number of days. For example, when you buy tinned products, tinned sweets, you will have a thing called use before. Right? Have you seen, or hereafter please notice it while you are buying it. Use before a certain date will be even. That means within that it should be consumed. If not, it is not good for your health. So, if at all my product is like that, is like limited time use product, but because of transportation I am not able to sell it. For example, I have to send a consignment 2nd February kulla use பண்ற மாதிரி நான் இந்த products make பண்ணிருக்கேன். I have produced my products that it should be consumed before 2nd February. That means at least by January 15 I should reach it to the shops. January 15 la irundha கிடைக்கணும் shops la. அப்பதான் it will be okay, it will be right. But my consignment reaches there and reach ஆகவே வந்து it reaches only by February 1st, means within one day you cannot expect all the products to be sold. இல்லைங்களா, ஒரே நாள்ல எல்லா ப்ராடக்ட்டுமே செல் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னு நம்மளால சொல்ல முடியாது. So the risk also there. So if it is a durable good, I am transporting furniture, there is no lifetime for it. I can sell it at any point of time. Transportation 10 நாள் தள்ளி போனாலும் the bureau will be the same bureau, the table will be the same table. I can use it after 10 days or 20 days or 1 month or a long time afterwards also. Okay, but perishable, single day use goods have to be, especially edible products, vegetable products have to be used in a certain time. So based on the nature of business, that is your products and services that you sell, based on that also it differs. Okay, your degree of risk will be differing based on the nature and size of your business. And finally, we discuss that profit is the reward for risk taking. As in profession, as in employment, they have a reward. Same way, what is the reward that a businessman gets? He gets profit. And why does he get it as a reward? Because he has taken a risk. He has invested money, he has brought in the resources, because he is uncertain. Business is again uncertain, we saw. And he cannot do without risk, so he has taken the risk. And what is the profit he is getting? What is the result or what is the reward he is getting? The profit. Profit is the reward for taking risks. So these are the characteristics of business risks. Okay, the nature or the characteristics of businesses, these 4 points will be covering that. The next topic that we are going to discuss now is causes of business risk. What causes business risks? So we know how business risks are. What kind of things are called as business risks that we have discussed. We have discussed the type of business risk also. We have discussed the characteristics. Now we should know what are the causes of business risk, so that if we know the cause, we can find a solution for it. That is why we are going to discuss about the causes of business risks. When we talk about the causes of business risk, let's have it like this, like a flow chart or a mind map. Causes of business risk are mainly of four kinds of causes are faced in business. First one is called as natural causes. Natural causes, as the name says, it deals with nature, changes in nature, uncertainties that provide with nature are called as natural causes. So in the example that we discussed, when the consignment is being shipped, the causes of business risk were uncertainty because of what? Natural calamities. Right. So there comes floods, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunami. So any natural calamity, what it is? Natural calamities that cannot be controlled by human nature. Can we control tsunami? Even though we know that we are going to be attacked by that, we cannot control it. What we can do? We can prevent ourselves or we can save ourselves from that. Even if it is a disease or if it is a natural calamity, we cannot avoid it. We can only prevent ourselves from it. Same way only it happens in business risk also, that we have the risk of nature, can be flood or tsunami or earthquakes kind of things. If the building goes down, the products loss, fire. Okay, all these comes under natural causes. Next comes human causes. Human causes, how? When my employees are not working productively, when they are not working efficiently, when they are not putting up their efforts properly, then I'll get the risk. That is, if one employee is negligent, he is not doing his work properly, he is not, for example, take for an industry that produces soaps. Okay, that produces soap and it is completely automated. That is, it is completely dealing with machineries. But the switch operator is a man. Okay, he has to turn on and turn it off at the right time. If he is negligent, if he is not doing his work properly, he is going off for something else, and because of that, the machinery may get spoiled. The goods may not be produced in the right quality. Okay, the current might be waste. So these are all business risks I face because of human resources I have. So human causes are dishonesty. We have heard about it. When my employee is not honest to me, he transfers my business secrets to some other company. My components, the way I produce my goods, it is told to my competitor. He will also produce the same thing. Right, we have seen in movies, right, when you are taking tenders and all, the employee of my company might say the amount that I have quoted to the other company, and because of that, what happens? My tender will be lost. That is even a business risk. And why does it happen? It is because of the human resources I have. So what are the human causes that may happen? Dishonesty towards my organization, then the negligence. Okay, if they are not able to handle a machinery, for your company you bought a new machinery, but you need skilled laborers to operate the machinery even. If the person is not equipped enough or competent enough to handle that particular machinery, then it is a risk. The machinery might get spoiled, the depreciation value will increase. Okay, the quality of the product may not be up to the level. All these will happen just because your labor is unskilled. He is not trained enough to use it. So these are the human causes of business risk. Then one more important cause is economic causes. Economic causes means what? availability of money in the society, then imposing of taxes, some new taxes comes into existence, the value of percentage of taxes increasing, everything, the interest rates increasing. Okay, if the interest rates increases, what happens? Then we will not be able to expand our business because we will not be ready to borrow. நமக்கு interest rate அதிகமாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா நம்ம என்ன பண்ண மாட்டோம், நம்ம வந்து பேங்க்ல போய் லோன் எடுக்க மாட்டோம். We will not borrow money so that we cannot expand our business also. When we can't expand our business, that is even a risk for us. Okay, so economic causes will have interest rates, then tax. So we have what? Interest, then tax, duties, import duties and all those will come under economic causes. The final thing is other causes. The causes that are not covered within this three area. Within this natural causes or human causes or economic causes are not covered. Other causes are there, they fall under other causes. Now what are the other causes? Might be political changes. One political party might have decided for constructing a bridge. Okay, so they have given a manufacturing industry, your manufacturing industry, the order to construct the bridge. But once the political party changes, the bridge might not be constructed, so you lose your order, and that is also a business risk that you have to face. Such kind of risks are called as other causes. Okay, accidents, these are all not expected. That time will come under other causes. So what are the points we have discussed under causes of business risk? There are 4 kinds of causes. The first one is called natural causes related with the natural calamities. Then comes human causes related with the negligence and dishonesty of the human resources. Then comes economic causes related with money, interest rates, tax, duties and all those important. The cost of product will be increased, so you may not get enough profit what you have expected. Finally, the causes which are not covered under natural causes, human causes and economic causes will fall under the topic other causes, like change in the political conditions, new economical policies or the foreign exchange, all will come under other causes. Dear children, so far we have discussed about business risk, types of business risk, then the nature of business risk, and finally we have discussed about causes of business risk. Now we have understood a lot of things about business, right? What is the next step that we are going to do? After we have known about the nature of business, we came to know how to take risk, what is the difference between business profession and employment, all these things we have come to know. What would be the next step? We are going to start our own business. Okay, what would be the next step? After knowing all these things, we should start our business. Now we are going to study about what are the important factors that affect or that has to be considered when you start a business. Okay, now we all are ready to start our own business, but I should know how to start my business. What are the important factors that I have to consider before starting my own business? So that is the final topic of the first chapter. With this, the chapter number 1 will be over. So the topic is starting a business. What are the factors that influence? If you are going to start a business, you cannot just take your money, put it there and just start a business. No, it needs proper planning and it needs a lot of factors to be considered before you give a proper mold or a proper shape to your business. We are going to discuss what are the various factors that we have to consider before we start our business. It would be the first step you take. The first step is selection of line of business. What is the first step that I have to do? I have to select classification, primary, secondary and tertiary. In primary we have further classification. In secondary also we have further classification. We have genetic industries, manufacturing industries, right? And then we have commerce. In commerce even we have trade and we have auxiliaries to trade. So what am I going to do? What is my business going to be? Am I going to start a primary industry? Am I going to start a secondary industry? Or is it going to be some sort of services? Am I going to just do the trade or auxiliaries to trade? Am I going to just buy or sell? All this has to be clear. So how do you select your line of business? Based on various factors like the demand of the customers. What people expect you to produce now. What is the demand now? What is required for the people should be the first thing that you decide. Okay, what is the need? What is the people's need? So you have to start with the research. You should know what is the need of people, what is the demand of the people, what sales, which product is sold a lot nowadays. Okay, which product has a good market, which product is safe for you. So you have to think various factors and then choose a proper line of business, whether it's going to be primary or whether it is going to be secondary or whether it is going to be tertiary or it is just going to be an auxiliary to trade. So you have to think about it. What will be the second step? Yes, I have decided what I am going to do. I have chosen my line of business. What will be the next step that I have to do? I have to think about the form of ownership. Before thinking my form of ownership, there is one more point that I have to decide. My size of business. What is it? Size of business. Size of business means can be small scale, can be large scale, okay, can be in a moderate scale. What would be the size of my business? Am I going to start in the small scale? Because if there are many products, many brands in the same products, then I have to start with the small scale. If the product is not at all available, then I have to start it in a large scale. For example, let's take bike industries. In bike industries, there are many brands. So I have to think a lot before I choose bike industry. What is different in it? Okay, after choosing that, should I start all over India? That is only size of business, right? Should I start it all over India or should I start only to a particular state? That I should decide. Okay, that is the size of business. After I decide my size of business, the next step is I have to decide the kind of ownership that I would like to use here. So, choice of form of ownership. There are various forms of ownership which we will be discussing in detail in our second chapter, but just let's discuss it briefly. The sole proprietorship, that is only one person deals with the business. So if you have a petty shop, you have a small shop, petty shop or a stationery shop, you are the only owner of that particular shop, means you are a sole proprietor. There are no other people who have invested the money, their capital in your organization, or nobody is going to ask part of your profit. You are the only responsible person of your business. You only have invested your capital and you only are going to face the risk, and you only are going to enjoy the profits, or you only are going to suffer the loss of the particular business. That is called sole proprietorship. Then we have partnership, that is two or more partners, they join together to run a business. So they will equally or in different ratios they will invest the money, and in the same ratio they will recover their profit. Or there is joint stock company where shares are sold to different people and there are shareholders. Within them a president or a chairman or a CEO is chosen, and with them the company runs. So there are different forms of ownership. Once I have decided my line of business and then the size of business, the next step I should do is I have to decide my choice of form of ownership, whether I am going to be a sole proprietor or whether I am going to be a partner or whether I am going to invite shareholders should be my next choice. Okay, after I have decided that, Next step I can do is I can think of the location of my business enterprise. Okay, location of business enterprise. For example, let's take electric bikes. So, electric bikes, the demand for electric bikes will be more where petrol rate is high or where pollution is high. There only will be choosing electric bikes. So, where I have to set up my business, where will there be a need? If you are going to have a stationery shop, it will always be better if you are going to have it somewhere near an educational institution. If you are going to have it near hospital, is there going to be any use? No. So, my location of business should be that I can reach my customers or my consumers soon. Where do you find usually pharmacies? Near hospitals. Somewhere closer by hospitals, what do you find? Pharmacies. Just because hospitals, their doctors will give medicines and immediately you can buy in pharmacies. That is the reason you have to think a lot before finalizing the location of your business enterprise. Where do you want to set up your business enterprise? It starts from the location of locality, particular district or a particular town, or it may enlarge itself to the state or the country or even to the international level. There are organizations which will open branches all over India at the same time, or they will open branches all over the world or only in Asia. It differs based on the size of organization, the selection, the next step. Because these are all interrelated students, so you cannot do without one another. I'll select my line of business and directly I'll jump to the location, will not work out. All these factors have to be considered. You cannot get rid of even one factor. Okay, once you have decided about your location, the next step is what? Importantly, financing your proposition. Financing the proposition. That is, you have decided a lot of things. Right, you have decided what is the line of business you are going to choose, and then you have decided the size, then you have decided the choice of form of ownership, then you have decided about the location of your business enterprise, and finally, what you have to decide? You have to decide the finance. How you are going to invest capital? How much you are going to invest as the capital? What is your source of capital? And in between, it's not only the capital is not the only finance that we are going to invest there. In between, we need finance to expand. We need finance to buy the resources. We need finance to appoint people and give salary for them. So for all this, you need money. So you should think very well from where you will get your source of finance, which is your source of finance, and how you are going to finance your proposition. That is what you will be thinking next. Right? So far we have discussed various factors that affects the selection of business. We have discussed the first 5 points: selection of line of business, and then size of business, choice of ownership, location of your business, and finance of your business. Now we have arranged for the finance also. Finance part is over. Continuing it there. What would be the next step? The next step would be, it's continuation children, the next step of financing the proposition. After that will be physical facilities. Okay? Based on your line of business, you have to bring in the raw materials. Right, for your production you might need machinery. You might need some other proper way. If you are going to make some edible products, you need refrigerator. Right, refrigeration facility. So what are the physical facilities that you need for your business? That should be your next point of thinking. What is the machinery needed? Do you need any transportation facility? That means you have to buy vehicles. Right? Whether it is going to be a big vehicle or whether the size of vehicle, all this will come under physical facilities. Why are we keeping it after financing and proposition? Only with the finance, based on the availability of finance, you can decide this. Okay, that is why we are keeping it next to it. After physical facilities, we will be doing the plant layout. Now what is plant layout? It is not about plants, it is about the industry. If you are going to have a manufacturing industry, you should have it in a proper way. The machinery should be set up in a proper process. When to start, which is the first machine that I have to set up, where I have to fix ventilators. Okay, what are the other requirements? Where I have to keep my electric and electronic things. Where I have to have the lobby, where I have to have the reception area, where I have to have the CEO's office. All these will come under the topic plant layout. That is, it is the actual design of how you are going to set up your place of work. Okay, you all have to work, right? Whether it is small scale or large scale, you have to sit and work in a place. And that place is going to be a business organization. Plant layout will help you to have a detailed plan of where what will be kept and how it will be kept. That is the plant layout. Then comes, okay, I have set my plant layout, I have constructed, I have kept my machinery. What else do we need? We need people to work on it. And what kind of people? Competent and committed employees or workforce. Okay? What do you need? You need competent and committed workforce. Competent means skilled. Okay, if you are going to have an IT industry, you should recruit people who know about computers. Without knowing them, they cannot work. So based on your line of business, you have to choose the right competent people. Committed, they should be committed towards your work. Otherwise, it is again a risk for you. Right, we saw about the human causes of business risk. So you should have competent and committed employees. After that, we have to have tax planning. We cannot get rid of it. Right. Now we have the social responsibility also. So it is essential for us to pay the tax properly. So what are the points that I have to take in account for auditing? What are the taxes that I have to pay? What are the duties that I have to pay? Okay, how am I going to get exempted from it? Exempted means what? Get relieved from it. How am I going to manage my accounts? How am I going to pay my tax? All these will come under tax planning. For example, if an organization is planning about PF, Provident Fund for employees, what is the tax? Do I have to pay any tax for it? Or what are the rules and regulations that I have to follow for it? All these will come under tax planning. How I can reduce my tax paying level. Why? Because out of your profit, out of whatever you are going to get revenue, out of that only you are going to pay tax. So if you pay more tax, then the profit will be less. So it is a point that you have to try to what? Reduce the tax that you are paying. But still, it is the duty of every individual citizen as well as organizations to pay tax to the country so that we all can survive in a nation. Right? The final point is launching the enterprise. Okay, the final point is launching the enterprise. After you have finished all this, what is the final thing? You will be starting your business. That will be the final thing. So what are the things that we have discussed about starting a business? You have to first select the line of business. Then you have to discuss about the size of business. You have to choose the form of ownership, sole proprietorship or partnership that you have to choose. Then location, where you are going to set up your business enterprise. Then how are you going to finance your company. Then comes physical facilities. What will be the machinery or other physical facilities that you require. Plant layout, the entire design of what your business enterprise is going to be. Then you have to recruit competent and committed workforce. How much employees, how many employees you need in each designation. Then you have to plan the tax that you have to pay or try to reduce the tax. And finally, you launch your enterprise. That is, you start your business organization. considering all these factors. So students, today we have discussed about nature of business risk, causes of business risk, and finally we have dealt with starting a business. This is the end of chapter 1. In the next session, we will be meeting with chapter 2. Till that, I want you to please go through all the points related with chapter 1. There is one important thing that I want you to refer to, method of facing risk. So I want you to refer into it. Kindly keep yourself updated with the topic. Thank you, and you all have a great day.